Senator from Connecticut's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me add my congratulations to Senator Chambliss on leaving this chamber. It's strange coming here in the last 2 years to get to serve only 2 years with giants of the Senate like Saxby, like Tom Harkin, like Senator Rockefeller, but their legacies will live on. Knowing what a good soul Senator Chambliss is, I bet you that he would enjoy the Newtown Labor Day Parade. I've got a picture of it here. We had the 53rd annual Newtown Labor Day Parade this last year, and this is the biggest event that happens in Connecticut on Labor Day. It's a celebration of the town. There's 120 different groups that make up the parade. You've got the Newtown High School Marching Band. This year you had the Grand Marshal Sidney Edison proudly marching at the front. The Litchfield Hills Pipe Band, newer groups like the Marching Cobras of New York were there this year. It's a must stop if you are a senator or a governor or a congressperson. We all march together at the front of the parade, regardless of party, and it's just a really fantastic, wonderful place. This year there were marchers from the Aviel Foundation, a truck decorated in pink promoting a culture of kindness. Sandy Hook Elementary School had a float called the Magic School Bus to Sandy Hook School. It had a positive message of think you can, work hard, get smart, be kind. And the judges selected Sandy Hook School's float as the winner in the best school category. It's a reminder that Sandy Hook is a positive place. Newtown is a positive place, a place that is rebounding as we come upon the 2-year anniversary, the 2-year memorial of the tragic shooting in that town that took the lives of 20 6- and 7-year-olds, 6 of their teachers who were sworn to protect them. And Senator Blumenthal and I have come to the floor today to mark that 2-year anniversary and to just talk for a brief few moments about what's happened over the last 2 years, what's happened that's been positive and the work that is left to still be done. There's a lot of positive things that have happened. I mean, it's impossible to try to find any good that comes out of this, but the foundational work that has happened in the memory of these children is really remarkable. The Jessica Ricos Foundation was formed in an effort to pay homage to Jessica's love of horses and her love of whales. And so they opened up a summer camp where kids of ages 6 to 10, the age that Jessica was when she passed, could be able to enjoy horses, learn how to ride them, learn how to take care of them. They raised money to sponsor the Orca Fellowship, which is dedicated to conservation initiatives for the orca whale. I mentioned the Aviel Foundation. Aviel's brilliant parents started a foundation that's seeking to do new research into brain activity. They have a new PSA video to highlight the need to understand the aspects of the brain that lead to aggression and violence. Anna Grace Marquez Green, her family's a musical family, and they've started a foundation that tries to identify ways to build stronger communities. And her father, who's a wonderful musician, a jazz musician, just released an album called Beautiful Life, and the proceeds all go to this effort. And Sandy Hook Promise, which is a group of families, is asking schools, communities to take a really simple first step to ending violence. And that first step is to talk to children and teens about how to be a good bystander, to look out for those first signs of trouble and to report anything that may seem out of the ordinary. And we've frankly seen how that small act can make a big difference. Just last week, a young man was arrested in Utah after he admitted that he had brought a gun to school with the intent to shoot a girl that he had a falling out with. And then his plans were to open up fire on the rest of his classmates. But a student heard about it. They tipped off authorities so he could be stopped before he carried out his plan. That's what Sandy Hook Promise is trying to do in the wake of this tragedy, to spread the word that those small acts can make a difference. And I'll talk for a few minutes about what hasn't been done when it comes to policy changes, but there's a lot that has happened when it comes to policy as well. In Connecticut, we passed the strongest anti-gun violence measure in the country that cracks down on illegal guns and invests more resources into identifying trouble spots before they happen. Washington State just passed a new referendum with 60% of the vote that extends their background check systems to private sales and to transfers. In Colorado, they've passed a strong new law as well. And on the private sector side, retailers are stepping up. Big retailers from Starbucks to Chipotle to Target have taken proactive steps, separate and aside from anything government has done, to keep firearms out of their stores. And so there's a lot positive that's happening in the private sector and in the public sector. And hopefully we can build on that work here. Hopefully Congress can recognize that our silence, our inability to pass anything in the 2-year period of time since Sandy Hook passed effectively makes us complicit in the continuing assault on students all across this country. Here's the map. In the 2 years since Newtown, there's been 95 different school shootings all across the country. 95 different school shootings have occurred. During the last 3 months alone, there were 17 school shootings, including a single week where there was one every day, 5 events over the course of 5 days. This is an absolute epidemic that is happening all across this country since Sandy Hook. And why I say that we're complicit is that when there is no response from Congress, when there is not a single legislative act passed to try to do something about this, it sends a message of quiet endorsement of what's happening. I know that's not our intent. I know that's not in the hearts or minds of any of our members. But people notice when every week there is a new story of a school shooting all across the country and Congress does absolutely nothing about it. Well, the private sector and state legislatures step up to the plate to do something about it. And so this is a day when we remember what happened 2 years ago, but a day in which we should feel ashamed that we haven't done a single thing to try to stem this tide. I get it that we're not going to get a background checks bill passed through the Senate in the next 2 years, but why not work on mental health funding? Why not have everybody in this chamber just spend 5 minutes of your time reading the report that was just released by the Connecticut Child Advocate, detailing the history of Adam Lanza's intersection with the mental health system during his early years in adolescence and how it failed him step after step, year after year, month after month. A lack of follow-up, a lack of coordination, a lack of diagnosis. We have a mental health system in this country that is broken and can be fixed. Yes, with some more resources, but just with better coordination. That's something that we can work together on over the next 2 years so that we can say, when this chart gets peppered with another 50 dots by this time next year, that we didn't just stand silent. Nobody's more articulate than Senator Blumenthal in talking about that day. And I don't want to relive it on this floor, except to just share with you the most powerful testimony that I've heard about what happened that day. This is a community that's recovering, but it's still a community in crisis. You don't lose 20 little boys and girls and just come back to life in 2 years. It's a resilient community, but it's a community that still hurts. And it hurts in part because they don't see us doing anything about it. And so before I yield the floor to Senator Blumenthal to say a few words, I just want to close with somebody else's words. I've shared these words on the floor before, but they're just as powerful now as they were the last time that I read them. This is Neil Heslin testifying before Congress in February of 2013. He is still Jesse Lewis's father, one of the little boys who was killed that day. And so as we think about what happened 2 years ago in Sandy Hook, when we think about the charge that we have before us, when we think about the fact that there are those of us like Senator Blumenthal and myself and many others who will not rest until we honor their memories by action. Let me leave you with these words. On December 14th, Jesse got up and got ready for school. He was always excited to go to school. I remember on that day, we stopped by Misty Vale Deli. It's funny the things you remember. I remember Jesse got the sausage, egg, and cheese he always gets with some hot chocolate. And I remember the hug he gave me when I dropped him off. He just held me and he rubbed my back. I can still feel that hug. And Jesse said, "It's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay, Dad." Looking back, it made me wonder, what did he know? Did he have some idea what was going to happen? But at the time, I didn't think of it much. I just thought he was being sweet. Jesse just had this idea that you never leave people hurt. If you can help somebody, you do it. If you can make somebody feel better, you do it. If you can leave somebody a little bit better off, you do it. They tell me that that's how he died. I guess we'll never know exactly what happened at that school. Maybe we'll never know. But what people tell me is that Jesse did something different. When he heard the shooting, he didn't run and hide. He started yelling. People disagree on the last thing he said. One person who was there says that he yelled, "Run." Another person said that he told everybody to run now. 10 kids from my son's class made it to safety. I hope to God something Jesse did help them survive that day. What I know is that Jesse wasn't shot in the back. He took 2 bullets. The first one grazed the side of his head. The other hit him in the forehead. Both bullets were fired from the front. That means that the last thing my son did was look Adam Lanza straight in the face and scream to his classmates to run. The last thing he saw was that coward's eyes. Before he died, Jesse and I used to talk about maybe coming to Washington someday. He wanted to go to the Washington Monument. When we talked about it last, Jesse asked if we could come and meet the president. Jesse believed in you. This is Neil Heslin, his father, talking to us. Jesse believed in you. He learned about you in school, and he believed in you. I want to believe in you too. I know you can't give me Jesse back. Believe me, if I thought you could, I'd be asking for that. But I want to believe that you will think about what I told you here today. I want to believe that you'll think about it, and then you'll do something about it, whatever you can do, to make sure that no other father has to see what I've seen. It's a pretty powerful message, Mr. President, one that on the 2-year anniversary, the 2-year mark of that horrible tragedy, one that we would be wise to listen to. I yield the floor.